Welcome back, everyone. Usually I start to experiment with builds a bit later, after maybe a month. Until that moment I usually use something confident, but there is so much stuff in this league that I want to try, that I'm starting with a new experiment and it feels rather good. I want to warn you just at the beginning that it's a pure glass cannon, so it has best defenses, it can do casual mapping, but it's not designed for something tough as the simulacrums with strong late waves, or something that is very tanky and has big damage. So it's a pure boss killer and the casual mapper. And the experiment was about trying the new Tulfall with stacking cold damage to spells for our frenzy charges, or for our power charges, and in addition to this we also stack frenzy charges with the badge of the brotherhood, and we use Occultist to increase our damage through power charges using some minus resistances with the Eye of Malice. So is the combination of some mechanics which I'll explain now. I will be explaining on my current version here on the video, but the min-max version you'll see also in the description under this video. So let's get started. We are Occultist, utilizing some Forbidden Flame Flash modifier from the Witch Elementalist, and we use Unholy Authority for some additional hacks, Forbidden Power for staking our effect and damage from power charges, Void Beacon with minus cold resistance, and Frigid Wake for some offensive and defense layers, but we can swap it to Wild Bastion for some regeneration, or Profane Bloom for explosions and more smooth mapping. As you can see, we have a pretty generic tree with crit multipliers, minus res, power charges, and etc., with some elemental damage and minus power resistances. And we use Inner Conviction for more spell damage, but using frenzy charges with ralakesh impatience. In this version I don't have Thread of Hope, so we could use the Inner Conviction here, but if we use Thread of Hope, we can take these nodes for Arcane Focus, Heart of Ice, and others for some damage and Energy Shield. And we use this circle with some increased cold damage and minus resistance, because we have the concept of lowering cold resistance of our enemies through Eye of Malice helmet. We also have Zealotry for life regeneration, and some minor reservation efficiency and nodes. Also, we of course chaos inoculated, so we have chaos damage immunity with some clusters for spell damage, with some arcane surge on bosses, and vast power, 2 vast power nodes for staking damage through Forbidden Flame, Forbidden Flash, with additional minus resistances from the Elementalist. So what's for the gear? The main concept of the build is staking cold damage through power charges and Tulfall, and lowering cold resistance of our enemies through Eye of Malice helmet. And it says that enemies have 50% increased fire and cold resistances, and if we lower them below 0, they are increased even more. So if we have minus 100 resistance on our enemy, it will become 150, minus 150 cold resistance. So we utilize Frostbite, Elemental Weakness. We also can have a Frostbite on the another ring, or not to self-cast it, and we also use Divergent Assassin's Mark with Mark on hit because we are purely crit build. The Tulfall perfectly stacks with the badge of the Brotherhood, with which gives us our frenzy charges equal to our power charges, and with the ralakesh impatience we have them both equal minimum to maximum when we are stationary, and with inner conviction we get the more damage modifier even from the power charges and from our frenzy charges. And with Malachai's loop we have additional +2 to maximum power charges. And we cannot be shocked while at maximum power charges through the tree. So we increase our spell damage through power charges, have additional 2 charges, and we cannot be shocked. And that's the great synergy. The other stuff is pretty generic with energy shield, resistances, life regeneration, which is converted through Zealot's Oath to life regeneration, and the doppelganger guys. Body armor, which helps us with survivability while mapping, and we do not use insanity while mapping because the damage is enough even without additional critical strike chance, and while mapping we use insanity and we have 100% crit chance. We use Divergent Glacial Cascade for our main skill with power charge on critical, spell echo, bone chill support, hypothermia, and inspiration for some reducing mana spent with Divergent Assassin's Mark with Mark on hit, and we have a triple curse setup with Frostbite, Elemental Weakness, which Frostbite can be on another ring as I've said, but I didn't have enough currency even to buy Thread of Hope. And we use for our vitality, hatred, and discipline. Also, you can include here the zealotry if you make enough investment into mana reservation efficiency. And for sustaining our mana, we use Mana Flask without ending. And for some defense layers we use Sapphire, Topaz, and Ruby Flask, but the Sapphire Flask can be changed for the Taste of Hate for additional damage and additional damage reduction, as we are trying to convert as much physical damage taken as any element or chaos damage as we can. So that's pretty all of what I wanted to say. Like, subscribe, leave your comments in the commentary section. Goodbye!